We continue our series looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly for each team across Major League Baseball, and today we look at the Oakland A's. Let's get into it. What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. So we begin looking with the Oakland A's at the good. And the good is that they have recently called up top prospect Shane Langeliers. Now, Langeliers is a prospect that they acquired in the Matt Olson deal when they would send him to Atlanta. This is going to be one of the best young players in all of Major League Baseball over the next coming couple of seasons. I believe that as a catcher, this is going to be one of the most pivotal and important pieces for the Oakland A's and their rebuild. Now, while you look at the Oakland A's right now, they aren't a competitive team. By having your top prospect up, you are giving an opportunity for a fan base to grow around a player of this caliber. I think that by having Shane Langeliers up, this is going to be an opportunity for Oakland to truly start to build their next foundation. Now, as we look at the bad for the Oakland A's, as poor as their play is usually, and in past seasons, it would have guaranteed them a top spot in Major League Baseball's draft. However, with the new rules that have been put into effect, that is no longer the case. So by being this poor of a team offensively and altogether, when you look at what the Oakland A's are going to face, they're not necessarily guaranteed to get the top spot in the draft, as well as having such low revenue and attendance, it's going to make investors and potential market shareholders really uninterested in this team. So I think that by having Oakland play as poorly as they have and trade away all of their viable and very wonderful assets in terms of their players and the high level of caliber players that they have had over the last several decades is really going to put a negative light and a negative spin on this franchise. By not having the top spot in the draft, you really are going to have an opportunity to push this rebuild an even longer time frame. Now, as we look at the ugly for this franchise, there's no new ballpark on the horizon. There have been a lot of talks over the last several years for a new ballpark for the Oakland A's and Tampa Bay Rays, but right now, we're not really seeing that as a possibility, especially in Oakland. Their average attendance is absolutely abysmal. There's no real energy in that ballpark because all of the great players that Oakland has had over the last several years are now all gone. This is a repeat pattern for the Oakland A's for several decades at this point. And going into this new phase for this franchise, another rebuild, is not going to bode well for investors, for the city of Oakland, or for a party to come in to try to revamp this team and this franchise. As historic as it is, there's no real sight for any hope right now on the horizon. And I think that when you look at what Oakland is going to be right now, that there's going to be a very, very long time between now and when they're competitive. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings on this down in the comment section below. What are your feelings on the Oakland A's? What's the good, the bad, and the ugly for them? We would see already an ugly situation that has changed their security policy on the third deck. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings on this down in the comment section below. Or find me over on Twitter at JLaracuente19 to keep the conversation rolling. As always, keep it locked into the entire JLMG family with We Sips, the Granny Geek Show, and of course here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast by hitting that subscribe button on all three channels. As always, for sticking around to this point, head over to baseballbanterbroadcast.com. Use the promo code ATHLETICS to get 5% off your order. Keep it locked in all season as we continue to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly for each team across Major League Baseball, as well as the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.